Okay, now numbers, we are going to see a new chapter or a new topic. This is called rectangular Cartesian coordinates in 3 dimensions. When you go up there, you will see that we shall be having even 3 dimensions. This one is not being xy probably. Then up there we shall see in vectors that we have also x, y, z, which you can't plot on a paper because it has 3 axes. For now, let us concentrate on the rectangular Cartesian coordinates in 3 dimensions. Whenever I hear 2 dimensions, whenever I hear 2 dimensions, it means that we have only 2 axes. So this chapter will improve our skills on our skill of rotating places, items from a reference point. To locate something, reference means where you start from or where you base on. So to do anything, to locate anything, you have to base on something, what we call a reference point. Here are the keywords. Coordinates, a pair of values written in the form of x, y. So that's what you need to know. This is what we call a coordinate. Then a point, when we put this coordinate, when we put it on the Cartesian, this is how our Cartesian is going to look out, like the Cartesian plane. So when you put a coordinate on the Cartesian plane, then that point, that coordinate becomes a point. So we have located that point because we know exactly where it is. So the x-axis, this is our horizontal axis on the plane, horizontal. Whenever we are in this, as I showed you already, this one we call it horizontal. This one from here up to here is called horizontal. Or when you put your arms like this, they are in horizontal way. Then the body now from here up to down, it's in a vertical. You see, it's a vertical. So that horizontal axis is called the x-axis. Then the vertical axis from here up to down is called the vertical axis, as long as this one we call vertical. From down there up to where you see there, we call it the vertical axis. Then the origin, this is where the x-axis and the y-axis meet. The origin is at a point O, 0, 0. So in most cases, our origin is going to be noted by the letter O. In most cases, not all cases, but in most cases, with coordinates 0, 0. So, where these 2 axes meet, let me show you here. If I have this as the x-axis, and I have this as the y-axis, you see this is the y-axis, the vertical, and this is the x-axis. So, you start where these 2 are meeting, they are meeting here. So, this is what we call the origin. So, origin, whenever you have this, we call it the origin if you're in Cartesian. Then here we have note values on the right of the origin on the x-axis are positive. So on the right of the origin. So on the right of the origin. So if I'm facing this is my right. This is my right. Okay? On my right. So this side. Okay, this is the right, as you can see when I put it here. On the right of the origin, on the right, I think you see, on the right of the origin, so this is x-axis we say. So all values on the right of the origin are positive, and all values on the left of the origin are negative on x-axis. So here we have only x values, and this side we have only y values. These are positive, then these are going to be negative. Then the values above, this is the origin where these 2 are meeting. So above, we have now y, because we call it y-axis. So values above are positive. Values below are negative. So that's what these 2 statements are meaning. Plotting, when coordinates x, y are put on the xy plane, we say point has been plotted. So to locate a point on the xy plane, that's what we call plotting. Let us see now identifying x, y axis and then locating a point. Of course, now if I give you these 2, now I think you can able identify the x axis and the y axis. So that's what we are going to do first of all in your groups. But before you reach there, for coordinates x, y, remove x units. Whenever I have this, it means that this is the x coordinates and this is the y coordinates. So this one is telling me move x units from the origin. You always start from the origin. And then this one is telling you on the origin and y units, because here we have y units. So this can be negative, it can be positive, as we have seen. This can be positive, it can be negative. So you move accordingly. If you want negative of x, you know where to go now. If you want the negative of y, you move down. If you want the positive of y, you move up. So then we locate the intersection of the x and y coordinates. Where they intersect or meet, that's where the required point will be. Always use a uniform scale on the axis. What do you mean by always use a uniform scale? It means that the gaps you leave from one centimeter to another should be the same on the x. So the scales can be different, but as long as they are uniform, each axis has a uniform scale. If you are leaving 2 units, it should be uniform up and down. If you are leaving 1, 1, it should be uniform 1, 1, then down. You can leave here 1, 1, and then here you leave 2, 2. It's okay. As long as you are maintaining 2, 2 throughout, 2 units, and then here you maintain 1, 1 unit. Or you can leave 1, 1, then 1, 1. It's also okay, depending on the points you have. Now, the first activity we are having here, anything within in this, we have to put on what we call a graph paper. This is what we call a graph paper. Whenever you are purchasing graph papers, you make sure you get this one. You check through, it should be clear like this one. So, this is where we put all our coordinates. We always use this graph paper. You divide it accordingly, depending on the coordinates you have. So, in the groups of 5, 5, I'm going to distribute for you these ones. Now you make groups of 5, 5. You're going to do this work in groups of 5, 5. Plot the following coordinates on the rectangular Cartesian axis. Rectangular Cartesian is supposed to be rectangular Cartesian, let me call it plane. Rectangular Cartesian plane. Plane. So we are going to be having point A. I mean this A, B, C, D, E. You locate them as you see. So we are going to do that in groups of 5, 5. Then I'm going to pick one group, and then we see and we go through it. So identify for me what the x-axis is. You name any. If you call this one or any, as long as for you are saying it's the x-axis, you name it. If you are calling it the y-axis, you name it. As simple as that. So any, whether you call this x-axis or y-axis, as long as you are giving it a name. But we say they are specific. So, can you try out this one? I'm giving you 10 minutes. Get a group secretary, write for you as you are presenting those things. So I'm giving you timekeeper for each group. Please don't forget to indicate the name of your group. So we have started the 10 minutes. Get these graph papers. Okay, since 10 minutes have elapsed, now I'm going to use the work of group 3. So this is the work, this is how group 3 are presenting their work. I think everyone can see. This is their presentation there. I think you can see how they are putting their things there, as you can ably see there. So that's what we are going to base on. So when group 3, this is what they are having. For them, they are calling this a y-axis. Why do you think they are calling it the y-axis? Now, the rest of the groups, you can extend. This group you give the next group, and then they give you theirs also. The same here, the same there. So can we interchange that? Can we interchange the papers quickly? Okay, now focus this side. Let us go through the work of group 3. So they are calling this y-axis. Are they right? Are they right? Why are they right? Because we say The x-axis is vertical. Okay, so way back, you give this group a mark. Whoever got this as the x-axis. Do you have any group which call this y-x-axis? Okay, you can correct them. You put their x-axis as correction in pencil. Use a pencil. So we give a tick there. Okay. Then they call this one x-axis, but they are putting these arrows and then they are putting x-axis. So if you group any work you have for any group, you put there also tick for x-axis. Then no arrows should be put this side. The arrows, this shows that they are increasing in this direction. Then this shows they are increasing in that direction. So we put arrows only here and then here. So you give a mark there. Okay, are we done? As you are following. So let us go to them. Then after, for them they use the two units. Here they use the 2, here they use the 2. Because me I'm using the blackboard, of course I'm going to use now 1 because you see the signal graphic of mine is a bit small. So here I'm going to call 0, so I'm going to call this 1. Okay, if you have a group, when they make these ones positive, when the scale is uniform 1, you see here I'm using 1, 1. But if they are using 2, 2, you make sure that these are 2 units and these are 2 units. But the most important thing, these ones from group 3, all these are positive because we said, why do you think all of them are positive? Yes, because we said all values on the right of the origin, on the x-axis, they are all positive and these are negative. Also we say that for above this for x-axis, they are positive and this, they are positive. However, if you don't do this, you don't get a mark. So whoever did this, you add them 1 mark. You give them a mark there and also give them a mark there for labeling, or we finish labeling the axes for correct today, putting values on both axes. Okay, so now from there, with every group, this was the right thing we are going to take. Okay, now in the protein, they started with point A. Point A. Here they are having A3, we are having A3. So as you can see, this is where their A3 is. I think you can see where their A is. So they are having A there as 3, 4. This is the 3, and then this is the 4. So that's where they put their point. So this one from here up to, so how do we locate? For them, you count, you start here A, you are counting 3 units. Now instead it's positive. So we move 1 from the origin, 1, 2, 3. So that's where X is. Then on the Y, we have 4. You have to be careful with the sign. The sign is positive, so meaning we are moving above the origin on the Y. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Where are they meeting? You see that 3 and 4, they are meeting here. So I think we see this 4 and this 3, they are intersecting here. And so that's where our point A is going to be 3, 4. And whoever got that right, you mark it. Let me mark mine here. It has it right. Give a simple tick. Okay, he has it right. You give a simple tick like that. Give a very simple tick. Okay, from there I move to point B. For them there B, now you see you have to be careful. You see that our B is negative. Then our Y, we say this is X, this is Y. Always, that is standard. The first coordinate is X, the second is Y. So that our X is negative, then you ask yourselves, where did they move? They moved to the left of the origin. So how many are we moving now? How many units? 2. To the right, to the left? To the left. Okay. So this is to the left. So 1, 2. What about the y? We move down or we move up? We move up or down? Up. Why? Because it's positive. Okay. So this is where our x is. So we move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are we finished? What are we remaining with? The intersection, okay. So it's that they are intersecting here. So this is where our point will be. So this is going to be our point B. You put the coordinates 2, 5. Whoever did this, you give a tick there, and you also give a tick there. So this is group 3. This is group 3. Okay, from there now, we come to the next 2, negative 2. When now we come to our 2, negative 2, let us see what they are having. So, you see there are 2, negative 2. So this is 2, negative 2. Are they right? So for them, they have 2, negative 2 here. This is 2, negative 2. They are having it here. Are they right? So this is positive, and we are seeing for them their x is what? Is negative. Okay. Is there another group which is having a different alternative? Okay. For them they move down many. They move this side or this side. They move this side. Okay. How many? You count them and say 2. So 1, 2. Why are they moving this side instead of this side? Because the side is positive. Okay. Then down or up. Now we start. The y we have is negative. Do we move up or we move down? We move down. Why? Because we say the y values which are negative are below the origin. So it means that they are supposed to move like this, then they move like this. So this was the right point. 2 is positive, then y is negative 2. So this is where our C was supposed to be. So for them they had this side, which is not right. So that's the correct thing. Okay, let us go to point D. All of them are negative. So this one they got it right. The negative we move from the origin 1, 2, 3. Negative, that's why you're moving left. Then here 1, 2, 3. So where they're intersecting, I think you can see that they're intersecting here. So this is our D, negative 3, negative 3. And then they have a tick there. Then the next we have 4, 0. 4, 0, this is where they are put. Now here, we have, this is our x, this is our y. So 4, it means that we are counting how many the x. 4. To the left, to the right. To the right. Why? Because it's positive. Okay. So we count 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So are we there? Okay. How many are we moving in the y? We have 0. So it means that now in the y, where should I go? I go up, I go down. Yeah, this one, yeah, they failed. But now, 4, 0, it means whenever you see 0, it means that you are not moving in this. You are not moving anywhere. You are not going anywhere in that direction. So you see, this is y. So it means we are not going anywhere in y. So we stop where we are. So this was supposed to be our point. So this was supposed to be our. You can use a star, you can use a dot. So this was supposed to be our point E 4, 0. Yeah. How many got that right? 102. Okay. Can you correct for them? You put them there, and then you put the corrections there. Then when we come to F 04, so see that what is, you see that now this is our x 0, So we are moving, so this is the x, so meaning we are moving nowhere. Whenever it says what, it means that we move nowhere. In that, if it's x, it means that we are on the origin. Unless we move fast. So then after, in the y, they are telling us to move 4. I'm going to move down or up? Up. Why? Because it's positive. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You see x, I'm not moving anywhere. So this will be our point F. It is going to be 0, 4. This is our point F. As you can able see there. Then when it comes to negative 4, 0, now it means that the x will move negative 4 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 0. It means that I move where? Nowhere. Okay. So that's what we added to do. This is our B. Negative 4, 0. Then in H we have H. See, these ones people were these ones people. Okay. You see we have H. It means that the X we are not moving neither left nor right. We are just on the axis there. What about then we move negative 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is where we are supposed to be. Yeah, I think most of you, these ones were, but that's what you had to do there. Now, that's the idea there. So, that's it. We start coming back for group 3. Okay, you put the marks. These were labeling the axis 1, 1 mark, demarcating it properly, and then putting the values there 1, 1 mark. So those are already 4. Then the points each is taking a mark. So then we have, so those are 4 plus 8. So the maximum is 12. So we ever got 12? How many got 12? No one. 10, 8. Okay, yeah, most of you are in 8 because of these ones. Okay, so that's it. I wish you well.